Hey guys, this is my 34-week update, and I said in my last video that I had some news or an event that happened this week that I am very excited to share with you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump into this in case it takes me a long time to explain. That way this video isn't super long. So the big news is during this past week of pregnancy, I was just laying in bed and I was laying on my back, and I had a contraction, which I have been having occasional contractions, which I've mentioned before, and they're uncomfortable but not like super painful, but my tummy gets super duper hard, and so I've been experiencing them in general, and I had two like back to back, maybe a few minutes apart, and they were both very, very, very painful and obvious. So I laid on my side and attempted to see if that would help on my left side to help with blood flow and everything. And I started to have more contractions. And I was second guessing myself, which my husband will testify to. He was like, oh my gosh, if you think they're contractions, they're contractions. Like, gosh, you know, stop second guessing yourself. But if anyone else has been experiencing labor or preterm labor, you know, it's kind of a guessing game, especially since my last pregnancy. I went in a few times for preterm labor, and it's just, I have a lot of anxiety towards it because I would be like, am I in labor? Am I not in labor? And it's a guessing game, and you're eager, and especially with preterm, you don't want to wait, you know what I mean? But you don't want to jump the gun. And so I was like, you know, I don't want to go to the hospital and be completely wrong and just look like an idiot, or you know, just, you know, be a hassle. And we had to find somebody to watch Ellie. It was a lot to do, and I didn't want to be wrong. And especially with my pregnancy with Ellie, the on-call doctor that I always got when I went to the hospital preterm with her, he, always made me feel like I was an idiot, because he'd be like, yes, you're experiencing labor, but it's not dilating you, da 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 da, or whatever. I mean, I can't remember, but he used to make me feel like crap for coming in, and so I was super paranoid this time. But I was experiencing them for an hour, and I called the triage nurse at the hospital, and she said, especially since I did have contractions with my last pregnancy, you know, that the best thing that they could do is just for me to come in. And she's like, we're not super busy right now, you know, it's not an inconvenience, just come on in and we'll see where you're at or what's happening. So she made me feel a little bit better. So we found one of our friends on base to watch her, and that was a miracle, because I mean, we had a few options, but this person was like, yeah, I'll be there in a second. And that was really awesome. I am so appreciative of that, because that was something where I was like, gosh, you know, how are we gonna find someone for Ellie? So this is about, I think we left to go to the hospital around 4 p.m. and we did stop and get sandwiches because I wanted to have food, just because I learned they're not going to give you food there, and in case that was what it was, like we hadn't eaten in forever because it was almost dinner. So we went and got some food, and I was watching my contractions, making sure that they're, you know, still happening, not going away, or, you know, with me walking or sitting in a different way, if that was helping or not. And if anything, they were becoming more obvious, and they were very close together. When we were in the car, they would come about 3 to 5 minutes apart, and that was pretty intense, because that's normally like, you know, you should be at the hospital by now. And they were really obvious. With my pregnancy with Ellie, they didn't have a clear stop and start. It was just a cramp, extreme cramp, cramp, extreme cramp. And with these, they were very like, oh, I'm not in pain at all right now. And then my stomach would start to get really, really hard. And then I'd be like, oh God, okay, here it is. So I'm proud of my body for knowing what to do now. Not as confused as it was last time, but definitely a little nerve-wracking. So we got to the hospital, and they put us into just a labor and delivery room, and they did say I was having contractions, and they just wanted me to start getting hydrated. They checked my cervix, and I was 1 centimeter and 50% effaced, which she said is not abnormal for a second pregnancy. And she said we'll see if that changes in the next 2 hours. So I started drinking water, and we were just hanging out And by the time those 2 hours were up, my contractions were not that close together at all. So they definitely were dying down, so that was good. So it turned out they were saying that it's probably dehydration, and just for me to try to keep up with that a little better. So I have been drinking a crap ton of water, and that's basically my interesting event that happened this past week. I just felt it was just a lot of pressure on me because I was scared and I was anxious, like, is it happening, is it not happening? But it turned out that my body does know what's going on, and I do know what's going on. So that was nice, and we got to go home that night and everything like that. And by the time we got home, I would have an occasional contraction, but they were gone by the next day. So with tying into that, since I've been drinking like a bajillion times more water than I was before, just because I do not want a preemie. Water is horrible with acid reflux, and I have had so much acid reflux. In general, I just am starting to feel really sore and achy, and I'm feeling the weight of the baby. My app says that the baby is 5 pounds now, give or take, obviously, and I believe it. Sorry, the acid is really bad. Oh, also at the hospital, they did confirm that she is head down, which I was pretty confident she was because I felt her hiccups down there. But yes, so she is head down, thank goodness. When I stand or walk, I feel like my pelvic bone popping or like cracking if I like just kind of sway side to side. And it used to just be kind of like, oh, I feel that, but now it really hurts. Like everything is just getting sore and achy and separating or whatever is going on. It's just, I'm feeling pretty pregnant. Oh, this one's kind of funny, or at least to me it's devastating, but I am starting to really start to be able to see, I don't even know what I just said. I am able to see my hair growing back in from my last pregnancy, especially like right here. These little hairs are getting so long, and I'm like, yes! You know, my postpartum hair is finally starting to grow back in, and ironically speaking, in just a few months, I'm gonna start losing it again. So I thought that was just something to note this week because I've really been noticing that my hair is growing back in and I'm about to lose it all again. I've been really craving salad. I could not stop talking about, oh, I just want a chicken Caesar salad, or I just want a salad. It's cold and it's crunchy and just refreshing, and that's been my major craving the past week. And lastly, I'm just very pumped. I'm still anxious about getting everything ready in time just because we're starting so late, but I've been, you know, planning it all out and getting it in my planner to see, you know, okay, we'll have this by this, we'll get this done, we'll have this done, and my list is getting shorter and we're starting to just get ready. And honestly, we have 6 weeks until her due date, but only 2 weeks, technically, it depends who you ask, until I'm like full term and able to deliver, depending who you ask. And so that's what I'm kind of telling myself, like I have 2 weeks to get everything ready, and it's just, I'm getting excited, but I'm not yet at that point where I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, I just want this pregnancy to be over. And so right now I'm still kind of scared of labor and everything that comes with it. So I know as soon as I start to feel like, okay, she can come now, I think then I won't be as pressed about the labor. I'll be like, you know what, I just want this pregnancy to be over. But so far I'm still enjoying it, and I'm just starting to get, you know, excited about the reality of what's to come. And Christmas is coming, and Ellie's really going to be able to enjoy it. And my husband is a huge Christmas fanatic, so he brings up the vibe of it a lot. But it's just cool, you know, the holiday spirit rolling into the new year and then a new baby. It's just very positive vibes, and we're just excited. It's just fun coming down to the last straw, and we're getting excited. So I'll go ahead and show you guys my belly bump, and hopefully this video is not too long, and I will see you guys in my next video, because I do plan to do, especially because I'm this far along, to do the 1 week updates up until she's here. And I promise, if any of you guys watched my old pregnancy videos, as soon as Ellie was born, I like dropped off the face of the earth for 6 months, and I am not going to do that this time. I really regret that. I wish I had made videos of her when she was that little, And so I'm not making promises for at what rate I'll make them once this baby gets here, but I will be making videos. So just, you know, stay tuned with me, subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're curious to see what's to come. Just so much is gonna be happening, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited, and it's just neat to be doing it out on our own this time. But now I'm just rambling, so I'll go ahead and show you guys my belly bump, and that'll be it for this vlog. So here is with a shirt, and then my shirt up. Okay, so that's it for you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.